The role of Sultan Abdul Hamid in assisting the Jews and settling them in Palestine is up to the truth, as evidenced by the numbers of immigration, settlement and acquisition that took place during his reign, and as evidenced by what dozens of studies indicate. Arab and foreign historical and documentaries, including, for example, Karen Armstrong, Jerusalem is One City and Three Religions, and Armin Masoud Abu Bakr, Land Ownership in the Jerusalem Metaserifia, 1858–1918, and Omran Abu Sabai, Jewish Immigration, Facts and Figures, and Ayer Avneri, Jewish Settlement and Arabs, 1878–1948, Ibrahim Abu Luqad, Judaizing Palestine, Herzl Diaries, and Najib Azori, Awakening the Arab Nation. Most of these studies were absorbed by Dr. Fadwa Nusirat in a book published by the Center for Arab Unity Studies in 2014, entitled The Role of Sultan Abdul Hamid II in Facilitating the Zionist Control of Palestine. Sultan Abdul Hamid issued, in the year 1887, a decree establishing the Jerusalem Mutazarifa, which was transformed into an administrative entity independent from the state of Syria, and its ruler is linked directly to the Sultan in Istanbul. And the Jewish presence was increasing before that, and since 1869, when the decree of the privileges granted to foreigners in the empire was issued. The Ottoman Empire also began mass Jewish migrations to the Ottoman Empire, especially to Palestine, due to the escalating European hostility against the Jews, and Sultan Abdul Hamid offered Jews to obtain Ottoman citizenship and reside in their lands as citizens entitled to own, work and reside, and Jews were exempt from taxes and military service, and they were also granted the freedom to practice their religion and the ability to reside in groups not exceeding 150 families in one area. The number of Jews in Palestine tripled during the reign of Sultan Abdul Hamid. Their number increased from 25,000 in 1882 to 80,000 in 1908, and their percentage to the population doubled from 5% to 11%, and in 1909 they owned more than 400,000 dunams in Palestine in the best and most fertile lands, of which 275,000 dunams were in the name of Rothschild, the financier, and the famous Jewish leader, who was on a strong and personal friendship with the Sultan, and in that year they established the city of Tel Aviv next to Jaffa, which became the capital of Israel. During the reign of Sultan Abdul Hamid, organized Jewish settlement operations began, taking the form of independent cities and settlements outside the traditional main cities of the Jews, namely, Safad, Hebron, Jerusalem, and Tiberias, and the Jews established a large group of schools, hospitals, factories, and banks, and Nusirat presents in her book a table of more than 100 settlements established during the reign of Sultan Abdul Hamid, including the name, location and year of establishment, as well as information on dozens of settlement associations, companies and banks that were financing and sponsoring operations settlement and employment of Jews in Palestine, such as the World Jewish Alliance Society, and its founders included Adolphe Caramet, Minister of Justice in the French government, the Union of Roman Settlement Associations, which includes 32 Romanian Jewish associations, and Israel Greetings, the Resurrection of Israel, a real estate company to buy land in Palestine, and Yesod Hamala, which coordinates Russian Jewish efforts, and the Association of Lovers of Zion, the first political Zionist movement founded in 1881. The Jewish Agency was established under the leadership of Herzl in the year 1897, and it was headed by Herzl under the supervision of Baron Rothschild, and it owned a wide range of lands, settlements, schools, hospitals, factories, companies and investments for the benefit of the Jews in Palestine. In 1908, he owned about 90,000 dunams. 7,000 dunams of it are in the Jordan Valley, and 2,000 are in the Hittan Plain. Herzl met Sultan Abdul Hamid 6 times, between 1896 and 1902, twice at the expense and hospitality of the Sultan, and although the Sultan did not agree to declaring Palestine a national home for the Jews, as Herzl demanded, but he allowed freedom of immigration and settlement in Jerusalem and Palestine individually, given that Jews were Ottoman citizens, and were entitled to own, reside and work anywhere in the empire. In the opening speech of the PAL Zionist Congress in 1897, Herzl stated that his contacts with the Ottomans were useful and important to the Jews, and after the conference Herzl met the Sultan, and thanked him for having provided great assistance to the Jews, and the Sultan confirmed his friendship and confidence in the Jews. Herzl Memoirs. In return for coordination to provide money to the Ottoman state in the form of loans and investments, correspondence took place between Herzl and the Sultan in this regard. In the end, the actual and real establishment of the State of Israel in Palestine was under Turkish auspices, administered and supervised by Sultan Abdul Hamid, and the Balfour Declaration in 1917 was nothing but a resumption or a culmination of Turkish efforts and actions that began 40 years before that. It is true that the Sultan did not respond to the Jewish request that he submitted. Balfour upon his entry into Palestine, but the gains and opportunities that he granted to the Jews were no less important than the Balfour Declaration, and were in its content and reality the same promise.